Welcome back, my friends, and today I am in a good mood because we are going into one of my most favourite genres of metal, and that is melodic death. For those who don't know, melodic death metal kind of came into its own in the early 2000s. I know that the genre is actually a fair bit older than that, but there was kind of a big resurgence of them when Arch Enemy and In Flames became quite big. That kind of created a kind of surge for record companies to look for these other similar bands to try and get that spark, because they were quite popular at that time, because you also had like Children of Bodom, Norva. So today I'm going to give you a few that I know and a few that I adore, because these a few of them, well, 3 out of 4 that I'm going to recommend today were from around that time, and it was like the first genre that I got into after, you know, when you start listening to metal and or whatever music genre you're in, and you've got this you have like TV channels which are telling you basically what to watch, and whatever bands are big at the time, like Kerrang and Scuzz, they were basically saying these are the bands you need to listen to. Well, when you, as pretty much all of you will know, like once you push past the surface and you start to get into your own and start developing your own taste in music instead of being told what the media tells you to listen to. So melodic death was like the first genre I got into after that. So I have a lot of fond memories of this music, and I'd like to share it with you. The first band I'm going to recommend is Kalmah, which is like a dear old friend to me. It was like after learning the staple ones of melodic death, I found out about Kalmah, and they were like, because they didn't use traditional sort of melodic death metal structure. It was very much combining keyboards with most of the way through the music, instead of making it a huge part of the solo or the intro. And their older stuff is very, very different compared to the stuff at the time. And they kind of became more and more mellowed out in that aspect as time's gone on. But they're still very, very good. And I'm starting with the record. What I recommend, the first, second, and third will be up in the ages of the albums. But I highly, highly recommend listening to the cliche early stuff of Kalmah, because yes, the new stuff is great, but the old stuff is really, really different. Words enjoyed that. The next one I'm going into is called Parasite Inc. And they, hi Drag! So the next band I'm going to go into is called Parasite Inc. And keeping with my somewhat non-on-purpose, somewhat coincidental, keeping with my coincidental, I promise, trait when I do recommend videos, that they are a German band, as I always seem to somehow slip in. I didn't actually, these are one of the 4 that I was on about that I didn't listen to back in the day, because they only came about in around, I think, 2013. And I put them on the back burner after seeing, thanks Drag, I put them on the back burner after seeing an advert. A lot of people in the comment section I've seen for their music videos are saying they actually saw their first stuff by Parasite Inc. on a YouTube advert, which is the same thing that happened to me. So advertising actually worked for once, because I don't know if you're anything like me, but I have to be in the mood to listen to something new. I can't just switch something on and enjoy it or take it in properly. So for Parasite Inc., and then I gave it the time it deserved, and it's good. It's really, really good. If you like mid-range, the middle albums of Arch Enemy and the Children of Bodom In Your Face album, it's like them two put together, and it is really good. So here's a few tracks. Now for these videos I have a rule, and that is I do not include cookie cutter bands, so to speak, of a genre. So this is why I haven't put in like In Flames or Arch Enemy. So like, even if I was going to do a thrash video, I wouldn't put in like Slayer or Metallica. The whole point is to discover bands which are not easily discovered, right? But for this band, I'm not sure. They are a massive favourite of mine, and I know that they were popular back in the day, and they still are to an extent now, and they recently broke up last year, so I don't know. I might get some hate for this, but I'm going to include them anyway, and even if not, it might be discovered by someone who hasn't heard them before, but I'm going to say Children of Bodom because they're great, and if you're a massive guitar nerd, you will like them. This is the thing though, it's like, do people still know them, really? I don't really talk to many people about Melodic, so I don't know how many people do. I know folk who like really are into discovering new bands will obviously know. But for those, I guess, who don't know much about the genre because it's not as popular anymore, I'm going to include it anyway. So they are the first band that I got into with melodic death. Surprise, surprise. But their stuff again it's not really changed a huge amount, but it has progressed. So to me, obviously cliche, I prefer the earlier stuff, but I'm not going to dismiss the later stuff. I mean, some people hate the In Your Face album. Fine, I get it. It's a bit different, but it grew on me. I didn't like it at first. The later stuff is still just good, and it's more of a throwback towards their earlier stuff with a bit more of a freshy taste, I guess. So yeah, honestly, if you're gonna get into Bodom, I fucking said Bodom. Jesus Christ. If you didn't know there was a thing like back in the day, everybody argued about how to pronounce Children of Bodom. You had the odd pretentious person saying, "Oh, it's pronounced Children of Bodom," and now it's in my head, and now I keep saying Bodom, and I never ever used to say Bodom. I say Bodom. So. Anyway, as I was saying, and I completely forgot what I was, but yeah, listen to the early stuff. I put it in a progression, but I haven't included anything past in Your Face because it's quite In Your Face. Are You Dead Yet album? Whichever. No, let me. I haven't included anything past the different album, but I do like the stuff past it. I like everything by Bodom, to be honest with you. But the main point is there's a lot of albums before that, so give it a shot. For this last band, it's a bit weird for me to put it in here, but I don't. Some people would say they're more power metal, but the music kind of isn't. It's more melodic death influenced, and it obviously is because a member of the band is Alexi Laiho from Children of Bodom, so it's a side project of his. And yes, the point is that it's very melodic death themed, and there's obviously in the future. I will be doing more videos about melodic death, so there will be more bands, so I haven't really wasted the slot. But if you're going to mention Children of Bodom, you have to put in Sinergy. So I'm putting in Sinergy because they're great. So it's another band of that time that I hope you'll enjoy, and it's a bit of a mix-up of. It certainly is influenced by melodic death, and some people would call it melodic power. I've never heard that term before until I searched for a bit of details about what you would class it as, because even myself, I don't really know how to class it, but it is certainly melodic death influenced. So it's different, and I like to include it. So enjoy some Sinergy. And that wraps it up for today. I hope you enjoyed my video and my recommendations. Please comment if you want me to do a genre. I'd be happy to do it for you, to see what I can find, or my opinion on something. If you like what I do, please subscribe if you feel I've earned that. Like and comment if you want me to do a certain genre. I'd be happy to discuss it and see if I can, if I know enough about it. If not, I usually do some research and see what I like and put it up. So I'll catch you later.